Yeah, killer stuff. Really love the saxophone on that last song there at the very end.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's a great part. Pat, what do you think about everything?
I think it's a fantastic evening so far. Inlet, you've been definitely a great guest, putting the music into my ears and rocking out. It's definitely a pleasure to have you here.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so, basically you were talking about that Phantom Hitchhiker with Black Horse Lake. That basically has got me thinking. Why don't you just go ahead and jump in and tell us about the meaning of that song?
Well, I mentioned that me and Matt met in guitar class, and we came up with those opening chords, opening riff, kind of. And that same night, I was laying in bed, late night scroll. You know what I mean? And came across a video about like phantom hitchhikers, and one of them was about this tale of this hitchhiker who said like haunt Black Horse Lake, where like people are driving by late at night, like highway hypnosis, and hitchhiker hits their windshield and they get out and he's not there. So when I was thinking about what to write, I kind of thought about that, and we decided to like write almost about his backstory. So that's how it kind of came into what it was.
Interesting. And you told us another story in our pre-production meeting about how another song earned its name. Would you be able to tell that story, since it does go along with your new record?
You want to tell it? I mean, basically, Fly Swatter came about just because.
I just thought it was a cool name.
Yeah, he texted me. He was like,
I told him, I was like, we gotta have a song called Fly Swatter. That's some
so
good
kind of
stuff.
same thing. We came up with like the actual song, and I needed to write lyrics.
Yeah.
And Fly Swatter, like, what does Fly Swatter really mean? And I just kind of came up with this idea of like being out of a relationship with somebody, and everything around them that you kind of created with them is still like living around you, like the plant that's on the windowsill, it's like dead or like whatever, and you kind of having like mourning their loss like through that.
Yeah, it's really almost a heartbreak song, like you can't realize that what you love is actually gone from you.
Till it's when everything's still around you. So
That's cool. I like when something that starts off as maybe like a joke or something that just sounds cool actually embodies a really deep meaning.
Yeah.
So kudos to you guys for bringing that one to life.
Thank you.
And why don't you talk about that new EP and how you did bring it to life? We'd love to hear more about some of the tunes. I mean, Fly Swatter's coming up in this next set here. It's going to be the second song. Of course, we're going to talk for a little bit, but we'll be hearing that one in a little bit. So, and a ton of other new materials being played tonight. So why don't you talk to us about that?
I mean, I think the EP represents more of like what our sound as a band is like transitioning towards. I think like our original 3 singles, because we never really done this before, only playing together for a little bit, just weren't really, I don't know, exactly what we wanted. And although the EP wasn't like perfect, obviously, it was still a step in the right direction. Yeah. And it was a culmination of a lot of the things we've learned from playing together, a lot of connections we've made, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the standards obviously rose up from the first 3 songs. When we were doing that in the early stages, it's really any song we can come up with. We're like, let's go produce it, let's go mix it. But
you don't care what it sounds like. You're just gonna. But I think that was more of a step of taking this more serious and really like crafting a sound that we're more proud of. And I think like just transitioning from that EP and just trying to continue to grow from it.
And I know, Pat, you have a ton of questions, but while we're on the subject of the new record, I'm curious, Hugh and I, we were talking, just taking a break earlier, and you were telling me that you and Caroline kind of figure out the horn parts. How? Could you tell me a little bit about how you guys sort of craft these awesome horn lines we've been hearing?
Yeah, so
Hugh writes almost all of them.
Yeah, pretty much all of them. Also, Danny played a big hand like in the studio fixing some of the parts because he's a jazz pianist major at Rutgers, so he knows his stuff. But basically what happened was like Levi originally was like, hey, I want to have, trumpet, trombone, sax in this band. Can you write some horn parts for these songs? I was like, yeah, sure. So he sent me, a couple of songs. He actually sent me Black Horse Lake and Octopus Polaroid, but I was too lazy to write parts for them. So that's why on Spotify, they don't have horn parts. But with this new EP, I had enough time to, sit down, actually write out full horn parts, trumpet, trombone, sax, and kind of play to each of our, specialties to really craft the sound. So they come up with like a bass line with, all the strings and the drums. And then I kind of like see where I can insert certain like flourishes or embellishments and all that.
That's awesome. And Caroline, what's your approach in bringing these parts to life?
Well, sounds really stupid, but, I'm good friends with Hugh and, he's writing these. So it's kind of fun because they're made with love, like it sounds cheesy, but, and, horns just sit on top of the great work that they're already doing. So I feel like they make it so easy for us to
Thank you.
Float in and do
The horns help so much. It really set us apart. I really appreciate
Only
it.
thing that makes us sound
They're the
good.
best. Yeah, the only thing that make us sound good. Genuinely.
It's easy to write a good horn part to a song when the song itself is already
All right,
fantastic.
okay.
yeah, no, that's
All right,
true.
for the glaze.
Calm down.
So yeah, I don't know. I just think that because of the bond that we have and the music already itself is so good that it's easy to kind of bring it to life because there's so much joy and passion in and of itself. And we've been playing, and Danny, our trumpet, has been playing our instruments for a long time now. So it's just fun stuff. It's been new for me.
Yeah, that sounds so fantastic. What is a basic practice with the entire group, right? We're talking about a 7-piece coming together in one space. How often do you get together, and what is that practice experience like putting this music together?
We really haven't played as one piece since maybe December.
Yeah,
We really don't.
the horns kind of just because they all go to Rutgers, they kind of just live separately. And I mean, we practice twice a week, 3 times. I don't know, depending on how much it entails. But yeah, we don't, unfortunately we don't really practice with the horns all that much.
Hopefully more in the
Which just goes
summer.
to show how good they are.
Yeah, to really pick up and just get. I would not be able to do that at all. So it's very impressive. We're very grateful. But I think for us, a normal practice, I don't know, run the set, play ping pong.
Once a week, yeah. Play a little game of Steve-O.
Nice. Who's the best? Who's the best at ping pong?
Oh, no, it's me.
No.
I beat him every
Steve-O
single
him every
time.
week. Every week.
Every single time. We play best of 3, and I beat
These
him.
kids have
Every
negative
single
athletic ability.
Is
Next,
there
we
a
also
different
beat you. We're both
champion
better
at
than
each
you.
game, like the skee ball king, the
I don't
ping
know.
pong
In this
king?
case, I'm the ping pong king.
Then we raggle them up and then maybe film some videos for social media and just push through that agony and then
Yeah.
call it a night.
Promotion.
What else are you gonna do in a boring beach town, right?
Yeah, really not.
People in the chat are getting mad at me.
Go to
They're
Target.
the ones who gave me that line. I actually vacation there. I find it quite nice. So I tend to disagree. But hey, if there's one thing that I am curious about, though, changing the subject, getting back to the meat and potatoes of it all, the music. How do you guys? Pat asked a great question about managing the schedules and band practice, but how do you guys manage the raw energy we're seeing in this performance with your studio recordings?
I gotta say, live music always takes the cake. Any song we play probably always sounds better live.
It's a hard balance because there's so much you can do in the studio, and I don't know, it's hard. We kind of got convinced in these original first recordings to do everything without a click to kind of promote that raw energy, but I almost feel like it kind of
That was the worst.
it was the worst decision. It almost promotes a non neat perfect energy in the studio. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think both are great in their own right.
I mean, you look at great bands like the Grateful Dead. It's no one really listens to their
Yeah,
studio
it's true.
performances because it's perfect, and that's not what rock and roll is. Rock
I
and roll
guess
is
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But we're not good, so we can't really play
That's a
live.
good point. Not that good.
I think I like both of what I'm hearing, but the energy of you guys in the room, I think I tend to agree. I mean, it's just like I said at the top of this thing, it's electric. It's very infectious. And I can see why you're playing so many shows. And you said that This Is It moment was, hearing people sing back. And I feel like once someone learns the words, if they get out there and see you play, how could they not?
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
It means a ton.
Yeah, for sure. What would mean a ton to us, just to capitalize on that awesome throw there, Levi, is if you subscribe, comment, and share. It would really
it.
show you care.
These guys are amazing. Do it.
Thank you so much. But most importantly, please follow Innlet, and we're going to throw to them in a little bit so they can tell you all the good places to keep up. But you already know them. It's Facebook, social media, all that stuff, and of course, Spotify, Apple. And before we jump into more tunes, Pat, I know you had a ton of questions. You've been a big fan of these guys' tunes since we booked them. So any other questions for the band here this evening at this point?
Yeah, I feel like we haven't really gone into too many of the influences, but I know in the third kind of interview segment coming up after this next set, we're going to do so. But let's do a little quick run through just one word answer, like who is your favorite group right now. Let's start with Levi.
Right now, Geese.
I'm gonna go Slipknot still.
RC Drive.
I just got introduced to Geese, and they're now also my favorite group.
I'm excited for the Black Country New Road album to drop. So then,
I'm a cheat. I got two. Will Wood and Tower of Power.
Max stole my answer of Black Country New Road, but I guess if I'm not going to do that, I'll go Annie DeRusso.
Will Wood is fantastic, and I actually played a show with him at Revolution Bar and Grill a long time ago before he really blew up.
Really?
That's so
That's
great.
nice.
That's-
Just the nicest guy.
Subtle.
Yeah.
Really, just the nicest guy, and so talented. And
Yeah.
that's a cool choice. I'm glad to hear his name come up.
Back in December, it was a lot of fun because Hugh and I went and saw Will Wood live together.
We saw him at House Independence, and then later that month, we played at House Independence. which
It
a
was
lot of
very full circle. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's awesome. And he makes some great tunes.
fun. Yeah.
For sure. For sure. All right. Well, Pat, anything else for the guys before we let them do what they do best and rock out?
No, I can't think so. I'm willing to listen to those tunes, and like I said, in the upcoming segment, if you have a question yourself and you're in the chat, go ahead and drop that question there, and we're gonna basically ask them and go ask some more questions in that final segment. So, without further ado, Chris, what do you say? We get back to some music.
Yeah. On episode 27, live on our band show, it's our honor to once again present Innlet. Starting off this next set with a great song, Miss Marie. Take it away, guys.
It's a new one. First time playing it.